Hello and welcome to today's podcast. I'm Normand Schafer, and today I'm joined by Jenny. She is the owner from the Fiji Orchid, and it is a peaceful hideaway just outside of Nadi that offers guests a unique blend of history, comfort, and nature. And it's perfect for those who are seeking a stylish private retreat either before or after exploring the islands of Fiji. Thanks for joining us. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to tell you, if you've ever dreamed of experiencing one of the incredible destinations that we talk about on the show, be sure to visit farandawayadventures.com. For over 30 years, I've helped travelers discover some of the most extraordinary destinations on Earth. If this is of interest, check out the link in the description to farandawayadventures.com, and we'd be happy to make your next trip unforgettable.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to speak about my property,
Yes.
Fiji Orchid.
Well, I found it really interesting. There's a bit of history with the Fiji Orchid. Can you just tell me a little bit about what makes it a unique stopover and maybe a little bit about the history of the hotel?
Well, my husband and I bought the property because we loved the gardens. It was set up as an orchid garden, hence the name Orchid. But behind that was a muse, the creator of the orchid garden. And he was this gentleman. I think he was originally from Canada. His name was Raymond Burr. He had a love affair with Fiji when he came down. He loved what even current visitors really love about Fiji. He loved the people. So in those days, when you traveled to Fiji, travel wasn't as seamless as it is today. So, he probably to get from North America to Fiji, he'd already come on 2 flights because he would have had to stop in Hawaii, then Nandi. And when he was in Fiji, he really loved to explore the outer islands. So his house and his home, where the Fiji Orchid is today, became a staging post. So he would spend 1 or 2 nights before he caught a boat or flew in a small aircraft to one of the outer islands. And that's exactly what my husband and I have done. We own an outer island property in Fiji. And for a lot of our guests, when they arrive in Fiji, they also still need a staging post today. And we bought this property where the orchids were blooming, the trees were mature. It's not by the beach, but it's set in this tranquil, it's really forest-like. So Peter and I, we fell in love with the property itself.
And I find it really interesting that it is so unique. It's not like a traditional airport kind of stopover hotel or anything like that. It's like a little oasis with its own gardens, and it really lets people be relaxed. And the moment they kind of fly into or leave from Fiji.
Well, we have been in hospitality for 35 years in Fiji, and running an outer island property, the biggest complaint our clients had was when they came to Nandi and needed a stopover, they had to deal with a hotel proper. And it kind of destroyed that feeling that people get when they're in Fiji. Like we surround them with this love and with this magic that Fiji is. And they come to Nandi and it's this rude shock. Yeah. So they would complain to us and say, the biggest problem with our trip to your property is that Nandi is, we don't have anywhere where we could still protect that feeling that was created for us when we came and holidayed with you. Yeah. And I guess that's the notion that we ran with, and that's how Orchid was started. It's small. It only has 6 rooms. And because we're not situated on a beach, which is what you expect in Fiji, we're situated in this little forest-like place. So
in this forest-like place, how'd you kind of honor also the legacy of Raymond Burr, who helped found.
Well, we honor that by, making sure that we took care of his garden in the same way that he did. Unfortunately, I don't have the skills that he had with orchids to breed orchids because he had an amazing collection of orchids. I cheat. I have orchids, but they're the orchids that won't die when they're taken care of by someone like me and staff. But the other thing, the other thing that we did to take advantage of the fauna and the vegetation of the Fiji orchid, our accommodation, they're tents and they have glass walls, so that when you're inside the tent, you feel like you're sleeping inside the forest. So we really tried to use every bit of what the orchid has to offer and offer it to our guests.
Mm-hmm. Well, and are there some attractions nearby that really blend well with the atmosphere that you create? So I know there's places like the Garden of the Sleeping Giant and other things like that.
Yes.
Are those natural fits for people that are
They
with?
absolutely are. Going back to my original statement, when we set up the Fiji Orchid, it was like a stopover and a staging post for guests coming into Fiji. But I guess because of how we look after and treat our guests, we've also now built up a repeat clientele at the Fiji Orchid. And when they come back, they want to see a little bit more of the surrounding countryside. So we've now become like a tour desk operator. Each and every one of my staff, especially the front of the house staff, I get them to go out and experience every experience that we can offer. So there's hiking, there's a Garden of the Sleeping Giant. And by the way, that was also started by Raymond Burr. That's one of his legacies. And right next door to the Garden of the Sleeping Giant, you can go and experience thermal baths and Fijian, traditional Fijian massages. And on that same road, there's also Rise Beyond the Reef. That's a collective that's set up and that buys handiwork of Fijian women all over Fiji. So it's, again, I like to support something like that because it's going straight back to the community. And they have an amazing outlet there and a shop where we can take our visitors for their last minute shop or gift shopping. I prefer that to anything else that's been sold. I've hooked up with tour guides that can take you on a 2-hour hike up to the mountain of the Sleeping Giant Mountains, or also, our driver is a tour guide, and we can just take you out in our 4-wheel drive and give you anything from 2 to 4 hours tour of Nandi and Lautoka. And it's historical, it's cultural, it's a bit of retail therapy, but it gives you an idea of, a slice of life of Fiji.
Wow. Well, you have shared so much. I really appreciate there's so much that you have to offer, and it's just such a boutique experience, I would say, for people to be able to try something a little bit different as they're kind of heading into or out of Fiji.
Yes.
So thank you for sharing that with us today.
Oh, thank you very much, Norman. I really enjoyed talking to you and sharing what we do.
Thanks for tuning in. Discover your next unforgettable journey at farandawadventures.com. Experience the world differently.